Let's talk about the Paris Hilton documentary on YouTube. First, I want to say I finally figured out how to watch YouTube on my Dish TV. That was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have done it, but yeah, that was really nice being able to watch it on a big screen. The only bad thing is you can't fast forward it or anything. So, anyway, I digress. I wanted to talk about this because this hit home in a lot of places for me, and I didn't expect that. I really didn't. So here's the thing while I'm watching it and what I'm thinking about. I grew up with a sister much like Paris, and I was 2 years younger than her, and she was constantly getting in trouble, constantly going out to bars. My mom would wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, throw me in the car, and go try to find my sister at the bars. I would have to go to the door and say, "Is my sister here? Has anybody seen her?" My mom was terrified, not knowing what was going to happen to her. And I think people forget how different things were back then. You didn't even need a good fake license to get into a bar, you just didn't. It was very easy to do. So, with that in mind, I want to talk about a few things because you can see when she talks to her sister Nikki. Number one, what this did to her sister, and number two, what it did to her parents. I think there's a part that's really telling when Nikki says, "Did you ever apologize to mom and dad?" And she says no. Now, the implication is she didn't owe them an apology, they owed her one. But since I have lived through something very similar, I get what Nikki was saying. But here's the thing, Paris has never had a child yet, so she maybe doesn't get it yet. I don't know that you have to have a child to get it, but you for sure get it way more once you've had a child. I hate what Paris went through. Hate it. I think it's horrific. I can't believe her parents stood by while people pulled her out of her bed in the middle of the night. Just horrific. But I do know the desperation of a parent trying to save their child. And I think when you hear her mom say, "I was saving her life," she believes it. That, in her mind, was what she was doing. And whatever it took to save her, she was going to do it. And I watched my own mom, do the same thing. Now, I didn't quite go to that level, but it was close. So, while I think these schools are horrible and I applaud her for getting them shut down, I always think you have to take your own responsibility in things. And I think Paris needs to take her own responsibility in what she did. Nobody ever deserves to go to one of those schools and be treated like that. But again, she was scaring her parents like crazy, probably afraid they were going to lose her. And they did what they thought at the time was best. And you know, there's that saying, when I knew better, I did better. And I feel like that about her parents. I think it was really awkward where her and her mom hug. Obviously, there's a lot of unresolved things there. They probably both need to go to a counselor together, get it all out. I know Kathy Hilton's sister Kyle on the Housewives show says this is how they were raised, was to sweep everything under the rug. But surely her mom can see now that doesn't work. And all it does is build resentment and tear up families. And that's just not the way to go. And I'm really hoping, by the way, the rumors aren't true and that Kathy Hilton isn't going to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That's probably one of the worst things she could ever do. Kind of shocked it's even going out there because she's always been very against reality TV or any kind of TV show about their lives. So that kind of shocks me. Another thing I wanted to bring up that really troubled me was when Paris is talking about she's the one that started the influencer thing. She's the one that started selfies. And now she sees these little 8, 9-year-old girls that can't take a picture without using a filter. And they say, so was that caused by you? And she agrees it was. Here's the thing, Paris, you have the power to turn that around. Use the power you have to say you don't need to do that. Show pictures of yourself without all the makeup. Show the real Paris. Show yourself as just Paris waking up in the morning without makeup. Show these little girls that that's not really what you look like day to day, and that that's done by makeup artists, filters, etc. Be the good you want to see out in the world. I feel like Paris could do so much good with this. She could start a campaign, maybe call it No Filters. I don't know. But you could do this for all these young girls and boys and show them that makeup's fun and have fun with it, but you don't have to have it and you don't have to have filters. And you can look like a real person and people will still like you and you're still valuable and you're still worth it. Let's do it, Paris. Do it. I know she's got her hands full right now shutting down these schools, and I get it. But I'm hoping that will be her next project. The other thing to me, I have to agree with her sister, is why are you doing this? She complains that she has to travel constantly and that she's never happy and that she needs a vacation. But here's the thing. She could take a vacation whenever she wants. She never has to work another day in her life. Now, I'm all props for wanting to work, but there's so many other things she could be doing that would have a more reasonable lifestyle that wouldn't involve traveling 250 days out of the year, which she says she hates. I mean, that's all in your control, Paris. You have complete control of that. You don't have to do that. It's not like these women, single moms, that have to work because they have no choice. You have so many choices. So don't be crying about that. I lose patience with celebrities with that stuff. I really do. The other thing is, which I found really interesting, was her and her mom agreeing that she never wanted to grow up. Now here, I read this years ago and I said it to a friend of mine. She got really upset with me. Y'all know how blunt I am. I'm the same way with my friends. So I had read years ago that if you are traumatized as a child, you are stuck at that age that you were traumatized at. And I think we clearly see this with Paris. She was traumatized at 16 and 17, and she never moved past it. She is stuck in that 16, 17-year-old mindset. It's sad to see, but I see it with so many people, not just celebrities. Like I said, I had this conversation with a friend of mine. Why somebody like Paris hasn't gone and got help for this, I don't know. Maybe she has, but she never said she did. So I think you can really see it with her that she is stuck right there. Still trying to act like that 16, 17-year-old girl, still trying to recapture that. You're never going to recapture it. You're almost 40 years old. It's time to get help and move past it. I mean that from my heart. Reminds me a lot of Michael Jackson, another one that never wanted to grow up and I think was stunted at his traumatic age. Really sad stuff. But the thing is, she has all the resources to get help where so many people don't. So, get the help, get past it, get on with your life. So these are just my thoughts. I had so many thoughts while I was watching it, so I had to make this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Subscribe, hit the bell. I'd appreciate it. And have a wonderful day.